Addie Soldiers. I'm officially a member of the Black Lipstick Club, and I have to say I'm enjoying my subscription so far. As someone that loves dark lipstick, I mean, this isn't really that unexpected, but some things that are unexpected are perhaps some of my favorite books. That's called a segue. Sometimes you look at a book and you're like, I'm gonna love you, you're gonna be awesome. And other times you look at a book and you're like, my interest level is like mediocre at best. That's what's happened to a good amount of books for me, and yet I happen to fall in love with a couple of these very unexpectedly. So for today's dark, dreary, rainy video, let's go over some of my favorite books that were very unexpected. The first one I have mentioned before, and most likely will mention again, is The Virgin Cure by Amy McKay. Way back in grade 12, as many people have to do, I had to do a novel project on a Canadian author, and was like, whoop-dee-doo, Canadian authors. So excited. But I ended up picking this one just by chance, and I happen to love this book. This is about a 12-year-old street rat named Moth who is in 1870s New York, simultaneously working in the freak show circus and also training to become a prostitute. But the innocent edge that Moth has and the not so innocent edge that she has since she's been growing up on the street is a really neat way to describe becoming a courtesan and then also learning more about the circus freak show sideshows, which I think are really cool anyway, so it was neat to have her interact with like an actual person way back in the day. Another book I had to read for school that wasn't really that unexpected, but I liked it more than I expected to, and that was The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. In case you don't know what it's about a boy who is very beautiful, who gets his portrait painted, and then every time he sins, the portrait becomes more grotesque as he stays beautiful and young and immortal. And it's a really cool, eerie, Victorian Gothic novel, and it's very short, and the movie was actually real good. The recent one with Ben Barnes. And then one that I just read last month that I really enjoyed is The Enchanted by Renee Denfeld. This is a book I would not typically pick up because I'm not really into mysteries or crime novels, but this is presented in the way that the prison is an enchanted place, and one of the prisoners whose mind you are mostly in, who remains nameless, is talking about the prison as an enchanted place with enchanted things and fairy tales and creatures of lore to kind of help them get through their time there. It was a really cool way of writing the story, and it was really beautiful. So I think this would actually be a good book for even people that don't really like crime stuff, but just like fairy tale stuff. Oh, a surprise bookmark. Wondering where this one went? See, it matches very nicely. And then one of my favorite books of all time that I went into being like, whatever, turned out to be mind-blowingly amazing, and that is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I will not shut up about this, I haven't shut up about this, and I probably will never shut up about this. I had not read everything, I just thought it was gonna be one of those like sappy contemporaries that I was like, I don't really care about, and then I got this advanced copy and I was kinda like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot, and then it ended up being one of my favorite books and definitely top 5 favorite contemporaries. It's just so sweet, and there's so many things that go into it about personality and family and your personal identity and culture, and it's just such a good book. Cannot recommend highly enough. And a book that my friend went on for like a year about, and I was still like, I don't really care about it, that I finally had to pick up because I was in a book club, was The Diabolique by S.J. Kincaid, and hot damn, this is a space opera epic. Diabolique are these genetically superior beings that are kind of like bodyguards for people of the galaxy, and the main character is one and has to infiltrate society, and it was so well written. It was such high stakes. I loved the character development of the Diabolique because they don't think like humans do, and I love the way that S.J. Kincaid made that happen. Plus, The Empress was one of the most bomb-ass sequels I have ever read in my life. You need to read the first one just to read the second one. I'm realizing now that all these books I put off for so long because I happened to read Adam Silvera only last year, and I think I started with History Is All You Left Me, and I was like, alright, cool, I'm down for this, I will read other books. Well, it happens that More Happy Than Not turns out to be one of my favorite books, and I could have been reading this like 3 years ago. This book is just such a whirlwind of gender and sexuality and happiness and hopefulness and loss, and it's just a really interesting slightly futuristic book that I would really recommend to everybody. The way that Adam Silvera writes his characters are just so close to heart, and I really enjoyed this despite how awful it made me feel. Lastly, one of my very favorite book series of all time was one that I felt about once I finished the first one, and that is The Raven Boys by Meg and Steve Otter. To be fair, I did read The Raven Boys kind of when it first came out, and I was kind of like, I mean, cool. Decent. I will probably eventually read the sequel. And then I spent 2 years not reading the other ones because I was just kind of like whatever about it, and then I finally by chance picked up Dream Thieves, and that began me on a path of Maggie Steve Otter obsession. Raven Boys is like a solid 3 out of 5, maybe a 3.5. Dream Thieves was like a 7 out of 5. Dream Thieves blew everything out of the water, and then Blue Lily Lily Blue was just so beautiful and heartwarming, and then Raven King was just an epic ending, and oh my goodness, I still can't talk about it. But this series I put off for so long, and I was just depriving myself of the beautiful, absolutely amazing, angelic writing that is Maggie Steve Otter. So there you go, today's video is a little bit short, but at least I think it is. I'm not really sure. When I edit this, maybe it'll still be 10 minutes long. We'll see. Please leave it down below some of your own unexpectedly favorite books. I probably could add a couple more for the sake of time. We're just gonna cut this down. Because it is so gross and rainy, I think I'm going to go put on sweatpants and take off my lipstick, drink some tea. That sounds like a good evening. You know where to click to like the video, you know where to click to subscribe. I hope you guys are having a nice day wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!